everybody? Welcome back to the Terror Drome. It's your boy KJ, and I'm joined by none other than the customizer supreme without compare, Tony Romo, aka Tony Figs. What's up, man?
What's up, brother? Good to see you again. Gonna have some fun tonight. Got a great guest, and I'm happy. I'm happy to be in here, bro.
I'm just gonna go ahead. No, without any further ado, I just need y'all to make some noise for the one and only Gun Bunny Customs. Let's go, man. What's up, man?
How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good, man.
Doing good, bro.
Listen, we don't really waste time here at the Terror Drome, except for when we're just gallivanting and BSing about. But listen, man, we've been looking forward to this for a long time, so we might as well let everybody here know why. So your custom work is ferocious, and we know a little something about customs ourselves here at the Terror Drome. But
yes, sir.
Just taking people through your work, yeah, you have a pretty sizable classified collection, I guess it's safe to say, right?
I do.
He sure does.
Yeah, I do.
I think that goes without saying. But yeah, man, the work you do is just laser clean, and we're gonna go into all that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, this is gonna be a really fun episode. I'm really glad that we were able to get you to join us today, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So you done some work with the Joes, with the OGs, and also just your own stance of like updating the aesthetic and just the layouts with everything. For those of you who don't already know, go ahead and check out Gun Bunny at Instagram.com. It's a rabbit hole. Like I was, it's like, yeah, I'll just pick out 2 or 3 slides. It's no big deal. And it's like I literally could not decide where I wanted this stuff to go. So
right.
So check that out. Check out dude at Instagram.com, and don't forget his YouTube channel. We're getting into all that good stuff. First of all, what caught my attention was your version of the Tiger Force RAM cycle. I think that's when people were like, yo, check out what dude did with this RAM. And this is before Hasbro. Yeah, before they even unveiled what they were going to do with the RAM cycle.
Yes, sir.
And we have a comparison. I think you smoked them, dude. I know why they put the Tiger paint where like the engine goes, because I guess according to the lore, I could be wrong. That's where that goes. So if you're in a jet, that's where it goes.
Yeah. True. Oh man. Oh
yeah. I just I don't know. Just one day, just decided to do it. I figured that was what they were going to eventually do. Through the Target exclusive or whatever. And so I just wanted to see how close I would get. A lot of what I do is trying to create something before they do, right? Because they actually, have a much larger process to go through than we do, and just to see how close I can get. And that's just kind of what I did there. I used the Mark Bellamo book for reference for the color, for the stripes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then that's what I'll do. Before I start the project, I do a lot of research. I do a lot of research like on like 3D Joes or yojo.com, and then the Mark Bellamo book, and then I'll just kind of get a game plan from there, and then just knock it out.
Oh man, those teeth, the teeth on the fairing is where it goes, bro. That's the teeth in the eye. That's sweet.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I think like obviously their decals are much like cleaner job, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, but I mean, I like how they kind of went more towards like an orange,
right,
as opposed to like the classic kind of like red and gold that they had in the 80s. So I mean, I like what they did, you know what I mean. But I guess I just wanted mine to look a little bit more like the traditional look of the when they were releasing was it 87 and 88 or 88 and 89 when they released those.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's clean, man. And if I had the time, I probably would take my Tiger Force RAM and give it a makeover. Shout out to the snake armor. Tiger Force snake.
Dude.
That's what ifs going on. This dude full size, man. Like Anakin. Like this.
Yeah, I actually picked that up off of Macari, like back in 2020 when all of this classified stuff was first coming out, and I saw it was like $50 on Macari, and it was not a very good print, and so it kind of got discouraged with it, and so it was just in a box for a while until I started doing until I did the Tiger Force Ram, and then I did the Buzz Lightyear jet, and so I was just in a Tiger Force mood in the Tiger Force zone, and so I started working on it, and it took a couple of times for me to do it and redo it, for me to get it to where I was happy, where I had the teeth like in the face and on the side of like the head portion, getting the stripes right, getting the fades right, and stuff like that. Because when I did that one with the spray can, I hadn't purchased my airbrush yet, and so I was just using spray cans to create those fades. And so you have to do it a couple of times.
I know.
In order to get it, you know what I mean. In order for me to get it the way that I was satisfied.
Man, that's awesome, dude. And the viewport, its viewport has the teeth on it. That's thick right there.
That's that detail work right there.
Yeah.
That's that thistle brush work right there, man.
Yeah, I use some pretty thin brushes in order to achieve some stuff.
I'm partial.
Uh-oh. No, I thought you were skipping a little, KJ.
So hold on a second. Go
There
again,
you go.
Gun Bunny?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
probably was. Okay.
You're good.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
But let's go ahead. We're partial to the paramedics here, of course, like with our good friend Tony. You did a lot of great work with that doc right there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
So
doc.
before, I think we need to talk about the HasLab here. Tony, what would you say is one of your favorite things about what's going on with the HasLab?
One of my favorite things is that I like the armaments they put on it. I mean, I like that. I like they put Hardy's name on it. Wild Bill came out really good. The flight suit he has looks legit. I mean, everybody knows I made one, but they did a real nice job. The accessories, the pods, the chips and salsa, all the little touches they went into. I'm digging it, man. I'm on their nuts for this. I'm sorry. All the haters can just, you know what I mean? It's just it's sick. And as everybody else at TKM Terror Drome knows, that one of the Dragonfly was my favorite thing. And I think I put an old picture up. I think maybe Gun Bunny saw it. You guys saw it, which is, I think my dad was handing me the box and my mom was over my shoulder opening up the OG Dragonfly. And that was, I played with that thing all the time, so yeah. They knocked it out of the park. I like it. It's still, I wonder with these, I was always like, hey, what happened to tail rotor? Well, these ones don't need it, I guess. These types of choppers, even in real life. So it's crazy. They're jet propulsion back there. It's crazy. Yeah, man, look at how big that thing is to that guy. It's huge.
I mean, I can't speak for Gun Bunny, but there's a part of me that just wants just a grayscale Dragonfly as is. So
oh yeah.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, if Hasbro was ever to send me a test print like that and said, hey, could you Python Patrol this? Could you Tiger Force this? Could you Tiger Force this or whatever, just to have for them to have one on hand, I would definitely love to do something like that. I'm definitely going to be customizing at least one for sure. I'll be doing a Tiger Force, to go along with all the rest of the stuff that I have. So, and if I'm able to get more and more, in hand, kind of like the hisses, because I'm definitely going to be doing at least one custom hiss as well. So yeah, I would love to just get a plain gray one like that and just go nuts on it.
Yeah, because that plain gray one, it harkens back to the Marine Super Cobra. How it had a gray look to it, maybe camo on it. I think, I'm not sure.
Yeah, like a flat gray.
Right.
I mean, as long as we're talking hypotheticals, I mean, I've been giving this some thought.
Get a
Like,
locust.
bro, I may Gun Bunny. I may need you to talk me out of something that like maybe I'm asking the wrong people. These are not the people that talk me out of anything.
No, man, I think you should definitely. I mean, I think customizing these are going to be a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's so many people collecting this. There's so many people that are thirsty for vehicles and play sets that it's just. I mean, it's created. It's a market of its own. And then once we start getting these, you know what I mean? I think we are going to see some custom. I'm surprised actually that we haven't seen more like custom Rams or even just more vehicle customs in general.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that it can be time intensive. Like I look at something like this, and it makes me think about, okay, like do I want to do something like this, or man, do I want to like this?
Yeah, see, I want to go with
Like,
that. I want to go with like a classic Tiger Force, and I mean that'd be awesome. It'd be kind of awesome if they included some kind of like Tiger Force decals at some point, or you know what I mean?
Right. Right.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that looks crazy. Fucking Tiger Force Wild Bill.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna do a Tiger Force, whatever.
No, I'm glad that they have. No, we're good. We're good here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Gun Bunny, you're still with us. What you were saying about the figures?
I said, yeah, I'll definitely be doing the figures custom as well for the custom Dragonfly that I do. So I'll do a Tiger Force, Wild Bill, and then maybe change that Night Force Ripcord to Tiger Force as well.
I never dug the Tiger Force or Python Patrol. But once I see Gun Bunny do his shit on all these vehicles and stuff, I was like, dude.
Yeah, and I was never a big fan as a kid. My preference always leaned more towards 82 to 85. To me, that was sort of the core years.
Same.
And that was the vehicles, the figures, and all that stuff. To me, that was, I guess, closer to reality based and coming from my father was a Marine, and I eventually became a Marine. So just that connection of my dad having served in the same kind of era that they came, that they were coming out of, was what made that era so special to me. So by the time like Tiger Force and Python Patrol and Sky Patrol and all that stuff was coming around, it was towards like the end of me and my brother's kind of time. So I didn't have any of this. I never liked it. I always thought it was kind of like goofy and gaudy and over the top.
Same.
But then just getting into trying to do complex paint schemes with the Buzz Lightyear jet and stuff like that, trying to as a customizer you want to outdo the next guys. So once I saw the Ironkin video with the with the Buzz Lightyear jet, and then I knew that I wanted to jump into vehicles, because I think at that time when we all kind of started transitioning to vehicles, or a lot of guys started transitioning to vehicles, we were all doing kind of character customs for the first couple of years, and then because they were just kind of slowly getting leaked out. And then once I saw that video and saw that there was another avenue as far as customizing, as far as customizing with the classified line, I just kind of went all in, and then just to jump from sub teams and try to make the I guess most noticeable paint schemes in order to bring them to life or whatever.
I mean, well, bring them to life. You did. I just want to salivate over a potential Tigerfly HasLab just for a little bit longer. But I think really what impresses me the most is your creativity in seeing different toys, different items, and reconfiguring them into what they could be. So here we see the Cobra Sentinel. According to third parties, they also called them the Cobra Steel Kaiju.
Steel Kaiju, yeah.
And I was really impressed with what you ended up doing here. So you took the Mattel Lightyear Zurg, which was about a 12-inch figure, and you took the McFarlane Toys Raw 10 Battle Snake, and you ended up combining the two of them to make your own version.
Yeah. So what happened was in my head, in my head, like if there's something that I want to do, I always wanted that steel kaiju. Even as a kid, I wanted it. And I know a couple of years ago, a company made one, and that they released, and I wasn't able to get it. But there was always certain styling cues all the way back to the original, cartoon that sort of had those kind of big, kind of like stump-like legs and stuff like that. And I was just walking through Walmart with my son, and of course we always go to the toy aisle, and the feet of this is what caught my eye, because to me it had a very similar shape at the bottom, the way that they kind of opened up towards the bottom. I thought, well, that'd be cool if I just painted it like that, and then just to kind of go along with it. And then I started thinking, well, I want to put a snake head, so I ordered a couple of different other little toys that had Cobra snake heads like that, because I couldn't find that one. That wasn't in stores anymore. So I ended up buying that Buzz Lightyear thing for, I don't know what it was, like $6 or $7. It was on clearance, and then I found that head on on eBay for like another $5 or $6. So it was like maybe $15 worth of fodder there in order to create that. But I just wanted to show that even like a because that's basically just a repaint.
Yeah.
And anybody can repaint, you know what I mean? You could build your skill level up to do it. It doesn't take a lot of like really, really complex fabricating, like with what Toy Gigante does, where he does these really complex and stuff. I mean, just super insane. I don't have that level of talent when it comes to fabrication like he does. So the only thing I can really do is paint. So I have to swing that thing for everything that I can, man, to create impact. You know what I mean?
Man,
and so that's what so I wanted to show, you know what I mean, other people who wanted, to build a larger classified universe of bringing in other things like that you don't really have to spend a lot of money. Like I said, it was like $15 worth of product that I got, clearance and off eBay, and the same paints that I already had. You know what I'm saying? And it was just taking the time of studying the subject matter, which was, the stills from the cartoon images, to figure out how the paint scheme levels up and down, what colors are next to each other to achieve the effect that you want, and then you execute. And so, and in order to do the minimal amount of work to get the maximum amount of product, and so everybody can do the minimal amount of work, you know what I mean? And I just wanted to show all the other customizers that it doesn't take a deep wallet, and it doesn't take a lot of fabrication or anything crazy like that.
Yeah,
exactly, for sure.
It's that Lightyear stuff, you can get it. It's on sale now. You can probably get that Zerg for $8. That battle snake,
cheap.
The battle snake is like $5, but shipping on it probably
That Cobra head was like a full little Cobra thing, right? I saw a ton of those at Walmart at one time. So
they used to be all over, and some people had got them, and they had painted them, and they would put them like in Cobra Commander's throne room. Shit like that. But I actually had found it was called like Robo Alive or something like that, and they're remote controlled spiders and snakes and shit like that, and they had a remote controlled Cobra, and I thought, and it had its head. The head looked a little bit more realistic as a realistic Cobra, as opposed to the stylized McFarlane one. And so I wanted it, but just the way that it was configured, it just wouldn't work. It looks like it was going forward. So this one was more of, it was, standing up with its hood expanded. So it just visually worked better. But it was a pain in the ass, because it's like rubber, super glued. It's like solid rubber, super glued, and sandwiched in between two pieces of this really, really heavy plastic.
There it is. Yeah.
It took everything that I got, my Dremel and all kinds of saws to cut through that. And if you look, I actually cut it wrong. So it was actually, the hood was actually supposed to lay flush, and those little triangular cut-ins weren't supposed to be there. But it was such a pain in the ass to cut and try to keep it level, and then go, because the inside of that neck piece sinks in a little bit where the original head connected. So I said, you know what, the hell with it, man. I'm just going to glue this motherfucker on. I just glued it on and painted it. But, with the intention of always going back to try to figure out how to get the curve of the hood to line up directly onto the shoulders. And so once I figured that out, I actually have another one, and I'm going to make two, because when I make my final display for Cobra Commander's throne, he's going to have both of those behind the throne.
Dude, that's
all right.
That's a crazy visual right there. Yeah,
So,
I started one of the comments, KJ, the cool guy. You know,
yeah.
I mean, everybody's asking, Gun Bunny, what is up, bro? You know what I mean? All of a sudden, we're
Oh,
on your shit, and then no videos, and that's when I started calling you. I'm like, hey, bro, what? Everything cool? Everything down? You know, it's up to you. You want to let the
No,
people
no,
know.
no, for sure. I'm definitely down to talk about it. So this last year, well, actually, particularly these last 3 years, and me even getting into this whole customizing shit, it's been just the last 3 years of like craziness.
I know.
And really, the only reason I even got into customizing, I was in a really bad motorcycle accident. I was laid up for a while, and this is how I got through it. That's why I was, for the first couple of years, I was just banging them out and banging them out, is because I mean, I wasn't able to walk. I had a big X fix around my lower leg, so I had all these pins and rods and shit everywhere, and
Yeah.
I was real banged up, and so that's how I got through it. So what happened was, about when I stopped doing everything, I got in, was able to get some money to be able to redo my bathroom so I could put like a therapy tub in there, and then I was going to get a larger room built onto my house that was going to be like my art studio, because I'm a professional artist in my regular day life.
mhm.
So I do all kinds of other art. And so I was going to get a studio that was going to be bigger than what the little room that I'm in now. And I was going to be able to do more stuff, and I was going to focus on my channel, and I was going to do dioramas and a whole bunch of bigger scale stuff. And then everything went to shit with the contractor, everything went to shit with money, and then
Damn.
everything went to shit with like my health. And so like even now, like my health has gotten so bad that like I've had to actually stop working. And so in dealing with all that over the last year, I've been trying to just deal with that and all that kind of stuff. And because it just kind of took all the wind out of my sails, you know what I mean? Because I was having to deal with lawyers and deal with the city and deal with, and deal with trying to recuperate the money that the contractor kind of jacked us for. And then
Yeah.
they fucked up all the work that it's just been a big nightmare. So that's why it's just been real sporadic, but with the intention of me, once I got through to the other side and got my house finished and everything settled, you know what I mean, to kind of pick back up where I left off. And at the moment, although my health is declining, I think I've gotten to a point where things are going to work out to where I can get my house finished, and then I can start focusing on my recovery and stuff like that more, and then jump back on it. But I haven't not been doing nothing. So what I've been doing over this last year is I've been picking up and procuring shit as I go, with the intention of coming back out and showing all this stuff and continuing on with my channel and actually getting on to bigger things and dioramas. And I want to do like really in-depth photography, kind of like with Skydro Walker and Imperial Jawas. I want to get up there, with my camera work like they are. So I do have plans, and so I'm hoping maybe like in the next month or two, everything will kind of get back to normal, and then I can get back onto doing my channel, doing customs, and doing bigger customs, because I want to do these huge displays, and if everything goes through, I'll have the space to do it. And that's what I want to start bringing to the table, is larger scale, like large. I want to do large interior shots of like the Terror Drome
Yeah.
hangars, bays filled with hisses. I want to do huge stuff like
Yeah,
that.
don't get us started, dude. Well, I mean, that's what we're all about. But
That's what
I
it's
just want to
about.
really quick. I just want to let people know. Uh, down-
Yeah, his
it's in the
YouTube
chat.
channel. Yeah.
Posting it. Everyone. Yeah. So everyone, go check that out. Gun Bunny Customs 4302. You will not be disappointed. If I may, let me go ahead and I want to move on into some of your. Speaking of your videos, I also want to talk about some of your customizing work and like the levels of depth you go into it. So here are your Cobra Stinger drivers, dude. And
Oh man,
they are nasty. Like
that's
this thing.
money. That's money. Look at.
Hold on a second. I gotta just get a closer look at these.
Yes, there we go.
Now, so talk to us about your process and like really how in depth you get when it comes to breaking down a figure and really making it look like it came out of the factory?
Okay, so when I very first started customizing, and the way that I look at this custom or any custom is, I don't want my customs to look like they're customs. I want my customs to look like Hasbro made it, because I want my collection to be uniform. Uniformity and cleanliness and is what I try to achieve in my customs, because I want to be able to put this back in the Cobra officer's box and have it look like it would have been sitting on the shelf that way. And so when I start to break the figure down visually, I look for certain cues of like where the different patterns, like the different texture and the patterns of the swatches on the pants, on the the texturization of the different parts of the torso and stuff like that. And when you see those delineations, you're going to know that even if they were technically the same color, right, the same shade of gray, because they're different materials, they're going to catch and reflect light differently. And so they're gonna be a slight, variation in the shade. And so that's what I try to do. I try to put 2 or 3, tones of the same color, shades of the same color, so you'll have the uniformity of the color, but you'll still have the effect of it, being able to have the detail of it, so you got a visually appealing custom. And then the other thing I do is you want to like the boundaries on it, right? Like the where you see where the red is and stuff like that.
Yeah, the red line work, your piping, yeah,
you want to highlight that because it shows, you know what I mean, it's visually drawing you in. And you want to like, and if you use like a 3-color or a 4-color scheme, you always get, you always want to make sure that the same color is never next to itself. And you always want to kind of have these delineations, because that brings your eye to all the different shapes on there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes the figure. Because I mean, I could have painted it all the same gray, and of course it would look just exactly like the 83, 84 with 84 Stinger driver,
right?
But it just wouldn't have the same visual pop as like as it does with the red accents on there and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's an awesome option. That's an awesome way to go too. But I'm currently doing a Stinger driver, and I ain't doing that red piping, bro. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. But to me, trying to get that little bit of extra detail, that little bit of extra, you know what I mean, that little bit of extra, visual oomph or pop.
Of course, yes, sir.
Always helps, and especially like trying to get into like toy photography and stuff like that. And then you just want to have yours to be, identifiable. If you look at certain customizers and the ones that have, been doing the G.I. Joe, classified customs this whole time. Because I've never done any legends or anything like that, or I never did anything before this as far as like toys went. But there's certain people like like Stronach or Yo Joe, where you look at their work and the level of the work and stuff like that. It's theirs, and so that's kind of like how I want mine to be. But I want mine to be like they came from the factory that way. That's why I don't do like a lot of Marvel stuff with them.
Right. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. We're real good friends with Dr. Gifford. Yeah. Yo Joe ARAH, man. He's a legend to me, man. I'm looking at you guys doing that stuff.
He is incredible.
Yeah. With Payne's Toy Sample, he was asking about what primer you use, bro.
So it depends. So here's something that I don't know if you consider it a secret or a tip or what. I never do the same thing twice. Right. I never use the same primer to paint twice, because what I try to do is, if I'm going to do whenever I do a custom, whether it's a figure or a vehicle or whatever, I always try to do something different. Because if you do the same thing over and over, eventually your results are going to plateau, because it's the same shit, right? If you keep throwing the same cereal in the bowl, it's going to be the same cereal. But if you keep throwing different things in there and trying different things to get different finishes or different effects or different tones in the way the way that the colors come out. So I never do the same thing twice. Every single thing I do, I'll do a different brand. I'll do a different primer, a different kind of primer. Sometimes I'll, brush the primer. Sometimes I'll use automotive primer, like a etching automotive primer, like Duplicolor. And I'll do that just to see what the varying results are.
I hear you. That way you keep it fresh, and you keep yourself interested. You know what I mean? just for me, the character keeps it interesting. And like you say, I wanna do it like it'll spin, like you'll see my custom on the peg. I want to make it like it'll come on the peg next to one of theirs.
That's
then,
my. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, you just unless you want to give it that extra little line, like your red piping on the Stinger driver, man, dude, that shit was fire. So man, I'm just a fan, bro. You know I am.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, man, it's clean. It's just like
Is KJ stuck?
I think KJ's stuck. Yeah, he's got to sort it out, man. He's got to freaking hang out with me and you for the time being. Yeah, sometimes this shit happens, man. It's like we're on with Punk. He was having so much technical difficulties for a long time, and then I said, "Hey, restart this, restart that." He had to get a new modem. He had to get a new had to do a hard line. He had to do this and this and that. Different companies. This shit's no joke. Sometimes when it goes bad on you, but every once in a while it did. When I jumped in the studio, my mic wasn't working, and I'm like, restart, Control Alt Delete.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to write it out with a phone, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, your phone looks freaking great. It's like it's just like one of your videos. Yeah, I just got an Android, so I'm like, I don't care. So
yeah, back with us.
Yeah, it's not you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you said you were having a little bit of problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. This happens. I see some trying to bring up some slides.
All right.
I'm gonna be on Payne's show, and he's gonna try to make it painless. I'm like, bring the pain.
Can you hear me, KJ?
I can hear you.
Oh man, I think he must be having some pretty.
Yeah, it's never been like that for him, but he might have to reboot or something. But I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. No problem. No problem, KJ. Shit happens.
So you working on anything right now, Tony?
No, I'm just work right now. I was doing. I got the rock and roll right. Oh, there we go.
You were able to make a.
Hello? Can you hear me, KJ?
Can you hear us, KJ? It's like a big delay. Ding, 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 ding.
So I guess he's gonna want to talk about the flag.
Yeah.
So I'll bring it.
Woo!
I try to have everything like within grabbing distance for in case because I didn't know what y'all wanted to talk about.
No problem. That's what we're gonna do. Did you bring that up? Right? I thought I saw that on Iron Kens or Ninjas. I'm not sure, but that's where I first saw that thing. That thing is crazy. What line is that from, dude?
So this is from Lightyear. So actually, this is the plasma drill from Lightyear. And so actually, how I actually came across this was I got this before anybody else did, like on a fluke. It wasn't listed under the Lightyear stuff on Amazon. And one night I was going through Amazon because like I have a ritual where I go through where I kind of cyclically go through all these things that I'm looking for, different lines, different specific figures, or different specific things. And as I go through these searches, I come across stuff. So I came across this before it was even like really announced or released, and Amazon sent it to me. And I got it even before like Dan the Pixar fan. So if you shout out to him. But
shout out, definitely.
If you go to the video that I did on this, somehow I got it through Amazon before it came out listed, and so I wanted to see. So I mean, I went through the whole opening it up, seeing if it would fit, and it turned out that they do fit, and it's a great toy. It's terrible to take apart. I went through the whole Yeah, so I mean, I went through the whole thing of trying to take it apart because when I deal with anything, I always try to break it down to as many pieces as I can. You want to break it down to its, to its smallest pieces.
This Moss
And
compound, yeah.
and so with all of this, with Mattel, and if I'm not mistaken, it was called static welding or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it all is. There's only just a few little screws that hold this. The tripod base together. The rest of it is all that static weld or plastic weld or whatever whatever it is. So it's so you can't really take it apart. You know what I mean? More than what they want you to. And it's the same thing. The Mattel's the Slambulance. There's a shit ton of on that too, as opposed to like the Wrecking Rig, which didn't have any, which allowed me to take it all. Yeah, so there you go. It's got
there you go. Right on.
But yeah, this is actually one of my favorite. And it was actually really easy. All I did was I obviously paint it green and then constructed a couple of pieces of styrene to give it the effect of having the same barrel as the 82, 83 flak. And that was it. I was going to put more decals and marking and stuff like that on there. But it was just kind of like when I was trying to find stuff to, like when I was just doing the whole series of trying to fill the vehicle void of G.I. Joe Classified, and basically anything that was coming out of Lightyear, anything that was coming out of WWE Wrecking, could pretty much fit. You know what I mean? With with a little bit of tweaking. So I was able to pull this off with this one. I was able to do like a maintenance vehicle with a little truck, and I actually have a different vehicle that I'm configuration that I'm going to try with it using the thing in the back because I saw a gentleman, I can't remember his name, and I'm sorry, buddy. I always try to remember everybody so I can shout him out. But he used the back of the little blade crane thing that's on the back as like a sort of like a weapon system. Mm-hmm. So I want to do something similar with that, but I want to use it for this. So I came across this at the dollar store and it had this, like this drone, right? And it was $4 or $5 or whatever. So I thought,
there you go.
That little Lightyear vehicle, and you created like a rail on the back of that thing. You could be like a Predator drone kind of launch system, a little launch vehicle or something like that. So,
hell yeah!
I wanted to touch on once again those vehicles like you were talking about, like from the Lightyear line, right?
Right.
So like you took your XL01, which we'll touch on, or the XL15. These are 5-inch scale, and you were able to work it out that you could have the classified fit into these. So
right,
look at some of these. This is nasty stuff, dude. We're gonna touch on all this stuff. Yeah,
honestly, they're great toys, and like I said, I the first thing that I did was and I've sold it. It was the maroon one I did, the Cobra Firebat one that I did. I think that was the first that I did. And like I said, I got the whole idea from Iron Ken. I went to his video where he shows how to take, kind of cut it up and take it apart.
I saw that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so and that's what it was. And so I just used it was a Krylon flat paint primer, that burgundy color. I forget what it was called, Boudreaux or something like that. And then I did some flat black accents just to kind of make it look kind of like a prototype. And that's how I kind of showed it, Destro showing his prototype Firebat. Yeah. And it ended up just, Iron Ken featured it, and it just kind of ended up blowing up. And then once I saw that, it just I just wanted to do more and more and more, and try to get more and more complex with the paint schemes.
So correct me if I'm wrong. You're talking about this one, right?
Yes, sir.
That is great. And then we see like the progression where you went on to different versions, and this is the XL15 from Lightyear, right?
Correct. So then I did like a basic Joe version, kind of right there. And so I was gonna put decals. I obviously did Cobra decals on some of them.
Yeah.
But so I'm trying to figure out a way to actually, instead of doing decals, because sometimes the scale isn't right. There's just something off with them. I'm just gonna start painting the markings on them. The actual, like you would see the lettering, the don't step here or the whatever. I actually want to get to where I actually hand paint those on, almost like hand painting a sign or something like that.
You also did some work with Bad Mother Tattoos, right? You were using them as well.
The decals,
yeah. So the Cobra logos and stuff that I got from them, from Bad Mother.
Yeah, Jeff at Bad Mother is badass, dude. Yeah, man, that dude, I can ask him, hey, I need mainframe, airborne, and some other person's, arm patch. Send me a picture. Send him a picture. He'll send him the next freaking day. You're like, what? He gets, Jeff at Bad Mother Tattoos and Custom gets down. But look at that paint job, bro.
Look at this, man.
That's nasty, like KJ would say.
Yeah.
That's filthy.
Man. This one by far was took the longest as far as like the prepping and the process of going through, to try to keep the lines as square as possible.
Yeah.
So just doing like the tape for these lines, it was 8 hours one day, 4 hours a day, 4 hours just to tape these, this diamond pattern on there. It was 2 full days, 2 full work days of just laying tape in order to achieve this effect. So then that way it would,
really, you were thirsty for that one. Yeah.
Man,
once we find out them figures can fit, then we're like, okay, we're going all in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the interior of it isn't obviously very detailed or anything like that. You remove the bulk of it, but to me, as long as it, you can close it and they fit in there, enough. Because the same thing with like the other one, the one that looks more like a Cobra stiletto. You can't put a full figured, G.I. Joe in there. You couldn't fit a Duke, or you couldn't fit like Gung Ho or anything like that. But you could fit like a Snake Eyes. You could fit, a Scarlet, Lady J, Baroness. The ones, the bodies, the smaller bodies, you could fit in there with no problem. I mean, they just laid right in there.
So, I just wanted to focus, like, so what you're talking about with the stiletto right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and taking the this is the crystal grade XL01. There's a difference between that one and the 15.
Correct. So this one, because it had the gimmick of launching him out, so then that way his wings would expand, from the I guess the final, close to the final scene of the movie. It had that gimmick, so where you could open it up and all the shit would kind of open up like the Predator's face, and he would come flying out. On the other one, the stiletto one, the gimmick is it blows. It's like it's engine covers. So the canopy is just to open up and close canopy. It's just a clamshell canopy and just sort of like a flat base for the figure to lay in it, since it didn't have a gimmick inside of it. So that one you didn't really even have to do anything. You didn't have to cut anything or anything like that. Like we're here, where you have to cut out all the connecting pieces that Buzz Lightyear would connect to the ship for the gimmick. So it was actually much easier. That was just a repaint. I just painted it like a red to get close to the stiletto, and then did some black and little accents or whatever to kind of mimic the pattern of the original toy.
All right, yeah, we're seeing some of your work here. It's phenomenal.
Thank you.
It is incredible. And when it's all said and done, man, this is it's superb. It's superb. Like, I would think that this is just some secret Hasbro project that we just didn't know about yet.
And that's what I want to what I try to achieve is I try not to add too much to it. I mean, you got to have, if you want your a consistent look, you want a uniform look with your collection, with your display, you got to exercise some restraint. You know what I mean? If it gets too gaudy, if it gets kind of too over the top, to me, at least visually for me, it distracts from my eye from being able to appreciate the overall, you know what I mean, the overall look of somebody's collection or display or whatever it is that that they're showcasing at the time. And so by not adding a lot of stuff to it and keeping it, as modest or whatever, just enough to I don't know.
Yeah, just to make it sing, right? So like something as basic as that utility vehicle that's from Lightyear, that's like $6 or $7 right now. Like, it's super cheap. And so,
it is. And so what I do is like, I never buy any of this stuff when it's, or I don't want to say that. I rarely ever buy any of this stuff when it's like just coming out and like full price. I only did that for maybe like 1 or 2 of these. And all the other ones I got on sale, I bought one plasma drill and one Lightyear truck, at full price because I got them right when they came out. But all the stuff that I usually get, I get on sale, or I'll get it at Ollie's, or I'll wait till Amazon has, a sale. You know what I mean? So as I was saying, as I kind of cycle through all of my searches that I go through looking for particular things, I only really ever buy this stuff when it's on sale. But when I do find it on sale, I'll buy 2 or 3 of them to stash, because you never know what you're going to make in the future. Or whatever it could turn into in the future. So you can see like that Mattel Slambulance. I was going to break it back down and repaint it and rework on it and redo it, but it's very, very hard to take that apart, and it has like a mechanism on the inside that launches the gurney, and so you don't really have like a flat floor to where you could make that like a real, like, say, SWAT style kind of like box. You
would have to hollow it out basically.
Yeah, it has all of that stuff in there, and so I wanted to construct and fabricate just like a diamond plate floor and some simple benches and stuff like that in there, but
Nice.
You can't actually take that box apart because it's so, that plastic weld or that static weld is so strong. I mean, you'd basically just have to cut it, and so that's why I kind of stopped with that one, and I'll just use it sort of as just paint the exterior and not worry about the interior.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was really impressive what you did with the wrecking rig.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite ones.
I think a troop carrier. That's the wrecking rig from WWE.
Yeah. And so what I did was I removed the tail boom in the back, and it was really, really simple. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 4 screws, and then one plate comes off, and then you got to take another thing of screws out, and that's where the swivel of the tail boom is. And then it's just a flat base, you know what I mean? That, that had a couple of holes to connect the screws through. And so what I did was I just went off of my experience of when I was active duty, and I tried to remember just out of my mind how the back of the bed looked, you know what I'm saying? And then I just kind of went off the measurements, of the truck, the width, the height, and, figured out how high I wanted the side slats to be and all that kind of stuff. And then figure out, how, realistically how high the seats could be and make it look legit, not make it look too goofy. Mm-hmm. And so, and I just went through a series of measurements and trial and error in order to create that box that and it fits perfectly in there, and it fits right in between where the smokestacks are and all that stuff. So you don't even really have to glue it. It just kind of snugly, just bam, it's just right on there.
Well, I got to say, to say that you're an inspiration is an understatement, because I got the wrecking rig.
Nice.
It's a beast. I'm telling you, that thing is a beast.
That's a big bat. How much is that running right now?
Right now it's about 40. I got this when it was 20, man.
Nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I ended up picking up a couple from Target, because Target had them for like 50% off, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I bought a couple of them when they were on sale, and I mean, they're great trucks, and I'm going to eventually do all of them once I get to everything situated, because I have plans for like a ultimate goal of what I want my collection to look like and certain things. And there's just one thing that I've always wanted ever since I was a little kid, and I don't know why, but it was just like a long Cobra convoy of vehicles. And so I wanted several of those troop carrying trucks, fill them in, you know what I mean? And, with the squads of basically 24s, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you would just see a giant convoy rolling down with his tanks, troop carriers, and, and all that kind of stuff.
Maybe a dope ass photo. Yeah.
We have a question in the chat. So were you talking about sonic weld, or were you talking about static weld?
I think static weld, right?
Whatever it is, whatever it's called, sonic weld, static weld.
I have no idea.
It's extremely hard. Once that's joined right there, there's no amount of heat. So, because usually what I'll do is I'll heat it up I have a heat gun that's right here, and I'll heat everything up and soften it and work its way out. You know what I mean? And all that kind of stuff. And that shit is so together.
Yeah.
You would basically you'd have to like saw right through that joint in order to separate them. And a lot of times you're just going to start losing a lot of your structure and its ability to hold shape once you start doing that.
Yeah. So you start compromising it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just really quick before we go into our next segment, I wasn't done about the inspiration.
Right on. Yeah.
Nice. How much did that run you? Did you just get it recently?
No, it was on sale. I got it over Thanksgiving. It was like $15.
Oh,
God.
I actually found
what Gun Bunny says. Yeah.
I actually found a couple.
I don't have no room.
at Ross for about that price, like $15, and I picked a couple more up, and I actually found one, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was going to be a different ship, but it's the exact same ship, but it's in a different box. It's in a windowless box, and they had them at Ross, so I picked them up.
And just one more, like that plasma drill is
see, KJ's on his way.
Yeah,
Josh. KJ's on his way, bro.
Right.
That fits right in with the AIM scientist. That looks like
that
could be inside of a Marvel lab somewhere. You know what I mean?
Dude, I have with that and the little androids they have. It's like the Mandroid. It's like an AIM Mandroid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
They have the Crimson one is on sale right now. So if you go, let me see if I can find the link. If you go to Amazon, you can get the red ones and you can use those along with your Crimson bats. It's pretty dope. Like, have fun with your figs. That's all. That's all I want to encourage people to do.
Yeah, man. And I'm telling you, you're gonna enjoy painting this ship. They're just very enjoyable, and they got so many different body lines that you could use to stop and start your colors and stuff like that, or whatever paint scheme that you're gonna end up using. That it's actually really enjoyable. It's very easy.
Whoa.
What, did I lose you guys?
No, I'm here, but I don't know what happened to the.
No, I did. I was sharing the screen. I'm going to stop right now.
Okay, there you go.
All right, never mind. I was sharing the screen just to show people. Yeah, you can get that Crimson. You can get stuff from the Lightyear line for super cheap. I'm sorry, Gun Bunny. Please continue.
His mic's muted.
Oh, hold on a second.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It pushed a pop-up on me and it cut out the sound. I'm sorry.
I shared a screen. I had to remember. Right now, Gun Bunny is joining us via phone, so we have to be a bit more considerate with how we're.
That's right. Okay.
Sorry about that, Gun Bunny. Please.
Oh, no worries. So what slide did you bring up?
No, just that people can go on Amazon and they can get different things from the Lightyear line for on sale, super cheap. They may not be able to get this, but they can get like droids.
Even picked up some of the bases that they have. The Star Command base it was $99 originally, and I wanted to get it because the roving the launcher thing actually fits this, and so they were on sale all the way down to like $28 last week.
Woo!
And so I ended up picking up a couple in order to do that. So I want to paint. I'm going to get for like this one, the Tiger Force, and I think I got one other one left, the regular green one. I want to paint the bases to display these, to match.
Okay.
That would work.
Well, let me go ahead and move on while the getting is good to our next portion of our show, which is HasLab Hypothesis.
Okay.
So, Gun Bunny, you talked a lot about how much you love the Dreadnoks. I think we're all fans here. I wish our comrade and compatriot Dreadnought Ryan was here with us. He would love the shit out of this next segment right now, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's all right, bro.
You got some good work here with the Dreadnought Ram cycles. They stole these from the Joes, and then they just put their own colors on it.
Right.
Yeah, that was kind of like from so Sears I'm trying to remember the years. It was either 87 and 88 or 86 and 87. They released these 2 vehicle sets, and there was the Dreadnought Ground Assault and the Dreadnought Air Assault, and it was Joe vehicles that they were repainted in these like 2 or 3 Dreadnought colors.
Right.
Color schemes. And so I just kind of went off that. The purple and green one was kind of closer to their colors, and then the flame on the tank, I actually kind of made them to mimic which there's I can't remember the movie, but there's a movie where the one where they have to go to the top of the world to get the fucking thing, and the Dreadnoughts drive up there. Well, anyways, they had those same kind of flames off on the cartoon motorcycles, and so that's where I got the reference for the flames that go on the tank, because it's actually the same flames that they had on the that were on the motorcycles they used in that movie.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Right on. Woo! Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I was actually, and I'm not ashamed to say, I actually supported that fucking Robbie Reyes shit because I was gonna turn it into a Thunder Machine. I was like, you know what? It's never gonna happen again. I'm never gonna come across a car like that again. So I was gonna buy it. I was gonna sell all the the figures and stuff that would have came with it just to have the base vehicle to create a Thunder Machine. But interestingly enough, I found I can't remember the name of the company, but they make a 1/12 scale car that they're going to make, and it's called the Bandito, and it kind of looks like a late 60s muscles car.
That's Odd Frog Entertainment in 3rd Street Chop Stop.
Odd Frog, okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, that thing looks amazing, and you can buy different accessory packages for like different rims, different hoods, different grills, different different things. So you can make it whatever you wanted. The doors, I mean, I think the hood, trunk, doors, all the shit opens. And so I'm going to be getting one of those and attempting a Thunder Machine with.
Let us know how it goes, man, because previously they were involved with a 112 Garage, which ended up being fraudsters. So
it's right.
Odd Frog, they got to clean up their reputation first, but I'm rooting for those guys. I want to say Eddie Hermosillo. I may be getting that wrong, but he's one of the designers. You can check them out if they're about it. Then it's all good. But 112 Garage, they spent a long time stringing a lot of people along.
I remember that. Yeah.
They had like a handful of prototypes and a lot of social media buzz. And that was it. So be careful with, their affiliates. But if Odd Frog is about it, we'll be the first ones to say, go out and get that stuff. Yeah,
right on, yeah.
I pre-ordered the Ramen Racer from Ramen Toy. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Okay. The Thunder Machine, that front clip, it looks like is it a Firebird or a Trans Am or
I don't know, man. I think it's a Pontiac.
Yeah, it's a Pontiac Firebird or something like that.
And there's actually I believe it's a 1/16 scale AMT model, and it's like a 78 Pontiac, and it has a very similar nose clip to that. And although it's a little bit small because it's a little bit different scale, you could split it down the middle, and you could add some styrene to it to open up the width of it and make it look like that. So where you could actually have that, and you can actually find those clips on eBay, you know what I mean, where people sell loose model car parts, and you can actually find that clip. So if you wanted to actually scratch build that, where you just make it a box the kind of the way that it is with that nose clip, you can find that part on eBay for about $20.
All right, the chat is saying that it's an 80s Trans Am.
80s Trans Am, baby.
That's what that is. Thank you very much, chat. This is what some customizers were doing themselves.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get close.
It's a nice print.
That's a nice print.
Like Toy Higante. I don't think that's Toy Higante, but if it is, I would not be surprised, dude.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, shout out to that dude for sure.
Shout out to Toy Higante. Sometimes when I go toy hunting, I'll run into him.
Oh, really? He's over there? I gotta follow him more. I gotta check his shit out.
Check it out.
Yeah.
I'll post it in the chat, but I'll be careful. I'll use my cell phone to do it.
Is he on Instagram, Toy Higante?
He's on Instagram, but he's also on YouTube as well. But moving on, this is what it's about. I'll be just real. Like, I did this for the homie Ryan, who's not with us right now, but that's okay because we like this shit too, and we're gonna deep dive into the Dreadnoughts right now. Like I'm thinking for the HasLab, we got the Joe HasLab, we got the Cobra HasLab, but what we need the Dreadnought HasLab. Like,
there you go. That's a great slide right there. They're already cold slithered up.
Yeah. Like, I'm actually really surprised that we haven't seen more of them. I mean, really all we got is Zartan and Zorana. You know what I mean?
I know.
We got Buzzer and Ripper, and a pipeline reveal. But I mean, they're such a strong part of the G.I. Joe lore. Everybody who loves G.I. Joe, a real American hero, has a fucking soft spot for the Dreadnoughts. They were just a quintessential part of it. They were part of Cobra's, Rogues Gallery. Yeah. Everybody loves the Dreadnoughts. You know what I mean? So I'm really shocked we haven't seen more or some kind of vehicle offering for them, whether it's Dreadnoughts with the bike, sort of like Breaker with the Ram cycle, have Ripper, Buzzer, Torch, would come with bikes or something like that, or swamp skiers. But I'm
Yeah.
surprised we haven't seen something like that yet.
I know it's a trip because that's why we haven't got him. We haven't got him, so that's why I jumped on him. That's why I jumped on him, mainly because I just happened to have, Marvel Legends Wolverine bike. I had Ghost Rider's bike. I had another one. Okay, well there's a main three.
Yeah,
Buzzer, Ripper, Torch
bike was really good.
Yeah, I gave that to Zartan. So they get you throw Brad Mother's decals on that or whatever, and I made those pictures on my Instagram, and I loved it. I played with them the most too, with the Joes. I played with the Dragonfly, and then the Thunder Machine. Once I got a Thunder Machine, it was all over. You could do anything with these dudes. They're like the Mad Max, biker gang from hell, and in the cartoon they were goofy and crazy. I still liked them. In the comics, they were more with it. They're more dangerous. They were more jerks. They were more, but when push came to shove, sometimes Buzzer was a little bitch sometimes. with Candy. Remember Candy almost blew his face off with a shotgun. I'm such a big comic book dude. I mean, I'm so stuck in there. But look at this. I just like seeing all of that. And in my collection, I stopped with Buzzer, Ripper, Torch, and Monkey Wrench. I never had Zorana, Nagahide, Road Pig, and now I'm making them. So, oh man, it's a whole lot of fun with these dudes.
Yeah, between me and my brother, because I have a brother that's just slightly older than me. So growing up, we both collected, and obviously, like I said, my dad was a Marine, so he was always extremely cool with buying GI Joe stuff because he liked it too. And so me and my brother ended up having pretty sizable collections as kids. So we were between the two of us, we were pretty much able to get all of those. And I mean, I remember going to get Zanzibar. We both went and got Zanzibar. My dad took us to it was an old store called Best. It was called Bestco.
Yeah.
Drove us I remember it was pouring rain, and we saw that commercial, and we're like, Dad, we want that. And he was like, y'all really want that? And he's like, yeah. And he looked at my mom, and he's like, well, can I take him? And she's like, are you crazy? It's pouring outside. And he's like, we'll be all right. And he drove us in a crazy thunderstorm all the way to Bestco so we could get Zanzibar.
Yeah, I did cop Zanzibar too. I remember his little skiff, and I remember the crazy Mike Zeck art on that comic where it's Zanzibar facing off with General Hawk, and General Hawk's on the beach, and he's looking over his shoulder. Here comes Zanzibar. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? That's when you could buy comics at fucking Circle K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh man, those are the days, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's coming back. Lenny, like they said in the chat, like Brandon Tuxbury said in the chat, Lenny loves the Dreadnoks. And the thing about the Dreadnoks is you're not just redoing those figures from back in the day. You're really updating 80s biker punk. Like you're updating the Mad Max look. So you have to modernize it, but you're also you have to give tribute. It's really interesting. But what I want to point out to you guys, here's what I think that Hasbro should do. They should test the waters with this Dreadnought cycle.
I love that thing, man.
Yeah, I got mine right here. Hold on, let me grab mine.
Yeah. And let me just talk. Let me just spit some science about the Dreadnought cycle because
I loved it. I love that damn thing. It was so crazy.
Fun. It's bold. It pops, and you can really get the vibe across what the Dreadnoughts are about. Hold on a second here.
What year was this, KJ? What year was the Dreadnought? I mean, I'm sorry, the cycle?
Maybe I want to say 86, maybe 87.
It was 86. Okay, it was a little later. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Look at Gun Bunnies. Good God. Was that the Rambo thing?
Yeah, so this was the Rambo, I think it's called a turbo cycle.
Dude.
And so I found one because I don't know if people really kind of see this, but a lot of these lines that were around at that time, competing lines and stuff like that, they ended up having very similarly styled vehicles or something like that. So, I mean, if you look at take for instance the Bat, right? Yeah. To me as a kid, I was like, well, okay, so they took the Terminator and they put Boba Fett's head on it, right? Because it's basically Terminator with a T visor, right? So we have all of these very similar styling cues just throughout the villains and the good guys and stuff like that. And they were basically released on, I think, almost the same year. And and I mean, and they're so close. And I mean, the Rambo figures are, I think, a little bit taller, but they were, obviously like beefier and stuff like that. But I mean, they scale out well.
They work.
I took kind of the gimmicks off because like the engine block opens up and shoots missiles, and all that stuff. And I know, be cool. Sorry, my dog's going nuts.
It's all good. Anything goes to the Terror Drome, man.
Yeah, man. So I got my little bulldog here barking. But so this is the second actually color scheme that I did. I did a more traditional one originally, and then I wanted to do more of like.
Sorry about that. Sorry. Yeah.
No worries. And so I mean, it had its little goofy gimmick where the Rambo guy would put his feet in here because it was a jet powered stuff like that, and it had like this heads up kind of shooting display that would come up, and big funky Uzis on the side and stuff like that. So I just hollowed them out and I Frenched some. I think they were Tech 9s. I forget where I got them from.
Okay.
And I kind of Frenched them in there to look like that. And then this came off of like a Chat May.
Yeah.
4-wheeler or something like that. And then I just put it on there to kind of give it the similar handlebar look that the original toy had.
You almost had some damn monkey with some ape hangers on that bitch.
Yeah. Like that. And so, I mean, eventually I'm going to put like, all of the, of the things on there. I'm going to hand paint all of the markings and stuff like that on there. And make it similar, but you can find these in condition for probably like anywhere from like $30 to $50. You know what I mean? Yeah. And but Rambo is another line that a lot of people I don't think realize that a lot of the accessories work, especially like the crew serve stuff that they would sell individually. They sold like an 81 millimeter mortar, anti-aircraft 50 cal, regular 50 cal on a tripod, twin 7.62s. They have all these things, but they all work perfectly with G.I. Joe Classified. So if you look at all of the armaments that I put on the stuff, it's all from that Rambo Coleco line, from the gunboat that I did, the $20 crawler that I did, that articulated ninja.
I remember.
Those guns on the back came from one of their crew serve little accessory pack sets.
Okay.
Damn.
Just once again, I gotta show some love to the Dreadnoks because we're hungry and we're waiting. And honestly, I'm working on a Dreadnought custom right now. I'm working on Road Pig. Shout out to Mark Van Cannon and Gridiron Studios. But we have some customizers doing some good stuff. This is from, I'm gonna say, the 2008 line. But we got some customizers. They've been doing some Dreadnought stuff as well. This is from Stronux. So these are his Dreadnoughts. Of course, the homie Giles Gifford, Yojo ARAH, he's got mad Dreadnoughts.
He went off on some Dreadnoughts. I didn't even know were Dreadnoughts. Like holy
comic books.
Yeah, I delved in that deep cuts, man. Yeah, Stronux, Yojo ARAH.
Shout out to Arrow.
Arrow Customs. Yeah,
Arrow Customs. Yeah.
Just a lot of great work from the community when it comes to these Dreadnoughts. So, we're ready and we are hungry, literally, for these figures.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Especially those damn vehicles that you can make retail. I hope someday, or Hasbro exclusives. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would like to see, because like the way that Breaker came, it was 3 per case, right?
Yeah.
I would love, because think about it, everybody would just buy a case, right? So you would have 3 in there, you would have Torch, Ripper, and Buzzer, right? And each one come with a motorcycle. It'd be the same motorcycle, but slightly different deco on each one,
right?
Or on gear with each one, and just have it like that, like a case of Breakers. You know what I mean? And get your whole Dreadnought set.
Yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at just getting as many Dreadnoughts as possible. I think I was pointing to this as an example, or get back toy stores. Yeah, they have like a whole set of Dreadnoughts, and like I wouldn't be mad at Hasbro doing that. They do that with Marvel Legends. They do that with Black Series.
Yeah,
give me as many Dreadnoughts as possible. Pretty please.
Get those, and they even had the vehicles you were talking about, Gun Bunny, about those 2 vehicles they came with, like they stole a Skyhawk and, and a
yeah,
Fang. Remember?
Ground assault and the air. It was a ground assault and the air assault. So the ground assault was the Ram Cycle and
Yeah.
and the Vamp, right? What was it?
Yeah. Yep.
And then the air assault was the Skyhawk and the Fang.
And a Fang. Yeah. It's like, well, now I'm noticing. Well, they had these. Oh shit! I could have done mine up when I was younger.
Yeah. If my internet connection was more stable, I would actually like try and find it. But like, I'm like,
you were good. You after you rebooted and came back.
Yeah,
You're
rebooted
perfect.
a little bit. Yeah. What's this dude broke out the archives?
Oh
What's that,
shit!
man?
Don't mess with Gun Bunny. That's all the art.
This dude
references
always comes equipped.
References are the Bible of customizers, baby.
Yeah, dude.
I'm trying to see. So here's I'm trying to think what
Swamp
year.
Copter, dude. Yeah, that's right, Brandon. Yeah, just come out. Hey, Hasbro, come out with the biker dreadnought gang set, like Brandon said, please.
So you can see like the air assault with the.
There you go. Yeah, they had the paint scheme of the Thunder Machine, huh?
Kind
Nice.
of, yeah, kind of similarly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If they do these vehicles, I mean, they can do Desert Storm. They can do the Cobra colors. They can do the Dreadnought colors. They can like swap it out like you did, the What If colors, right?
Right.
Python Patrol Ram cycles.
Right,
Most
and then
definitely. Ground
here's
assault.
the ground assault one, right? Yeah, so that's where I pulled the colors from.
Man, I might have to get this book, dude.
I know those books are sick, dude.
Dude, this was like I got it on sale on Amazon like 4 or 5 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
If not longer, but I mean, you can tell it's well used. It's got paint and shit all over it, but that definitely.
There's a shout out to R. Carson Metaxas. His Art of G.I. Joe book. is coming
Yes.
out, and
I cannot wait, bro.
gonna be
Oh my
nice.
god, that book is going to be epic as hell.
Yeah. I had to rearrange my entire bookshelf for it, but it'll be worth it. Yeah, I don't know if G.I. Joe can lay claim to Legends molds or Black Series molds. There may be just some sort of weird rule that keeps them from doing that. You think?
I know that's so weird. That's why I grabbed them. I grabbed them because I don't have those figures. I ripped them apart and did some customs with them. So I was lucky enough to still keep them and give them to my custom dreadnoughts. And dude, they fit really good.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, this is one of my favorite portions of the show. This is what we like to call here at the Terror Drome Community Spotlight.
It's a great thing. It's a great thing.
Yeah. And even though we don't have that HasLab Thunder Machine in our hands yet, with those tears, is like, that's just like, maybe they shouldn't put those dreadnoughts. I mean, give us Buzzer, give us Ripper and Torch, yes. But when you're talking Hide and, Road Pig, you can have those go with the Thunder Machine. Thrasher and, pick 3 of those. Maybe some of the New Blood dreadnoughts that we don't know yet.
Definitely. We shall see because
let's go ahead with your homie right here
Okay.
that you brought to my attention, G.I. Joe 85.
G.I. Joe 85, dude. It's just Justin. He's awesome, dude. He's just all his picks, man. He gets them all walking in real life, and then he has a story go with them in his comment on his Instagram. Either have Mindbender talking to High Command with his bats and vipers, or you'll have Snake Eyes by himself in a like a lake or like a little waterway. It's just he gets down with his. I mean, it just speaks for itself. Look at that. His choice photography is insane, and the lighting looks so natural. And that's my boy loves the gridiron stuff. Yeah. Right up my alley. So yeah, man, you guys check him out on GI_Joe_85. That's Justin. And I told him earlier, hey bro, if you can't watch it live, watch the replay because I'm gonna be talking about your shit.
Yeah. Well, what I like about this dude right here, I love his eye. Like he has a great, and Gun Bunny, you do as well.
Nunchuck. Oh,
yeah, that's awesome. That's an awesome figure right there.
That's sick.
Like I like how he uses nature as an ally. Like he doesn't have to do much. It adds so much to it already. We see a lot of photographers doing this, but I like how he works in with the elements. Not afraid of getting his figures dirty, getting them wet. Get a hair dryer. You know, it's go ahead. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, him. Oh man, it's just look at that. This guy Destro with some bats holding him down. Shit.
Yeah, it's like straight out of a movie. I mean, the figures are, and these are like, you know, $25 figures, and that's I meant when I said I put classified right up there with import levels. Like the love is immense and it's so deep.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that, and it's just a lot of this photography. Look at that, and he gets down in there. That angles he got
in there, man. Yeah.
Yep. He gets down and dirty. You know. He does. Shark eyes. He's in the perfect environment for all those outdoor shots. I got rocks and desert in Arizona. unless I go throw them in some. Hold on, let me go to the bougainvillea trees out here and the freaking jumping cactus and start taking fucking pictures of this shit. you just gotta get pick your little shot and see. It doesn't have to be real crazy. That's a really enclosed shot. That's tunnel rat.
Yeah.
You know. Oh man, look at the light. He's what? You know, Justin's crazy, bro.
It's great. This is my favorite right here. This is my favorite. It's like almost out of the new Predator movie, almost.
Well, yeah.
Spirit by himself, dude. And you wanted to get into some of this toy photography too, right, Gun Bunny?
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to do. I mean, I wouldn't be able to go outside because of my leg and stuff. But I definitely want that with like this table that this is on right here. This is going to be the table that I use, and it's I don't know like 7 feet by 3 feet or whatever. It's a real big table. So this is going to be the at least one of the bases for it. So all the dioramas that I do that are indoor or outdoor looking, going to be on a bigger thing like this to be able to try to create or recreate a larger atmosphere look to it, since I can't really go outside to take the photos.
Right, I hear you, bro.
Yeah. I have a little work area myself that I plan on using. I've been using for a project that I'm going to unveil very soon that I'm very, very excited about. So yeah, when you have that little workspace, it allows you to do stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What up, Travis in the chat? Travis in the chat. Shark Eyes in the chat. Right on. Terror Drome, baby. Man. Yeah, that Firefly looks dope. Yeah, and
I didn't realize you were joining us from Melbourne, dude. Thanks, and once again, much love to our international buddies.
I didn't know Shark Eyes was out there. Shit, nice.
So once again, be sure to check out this dude on Instagram, GI_Joe_85 on Instagram. Justin. Major kudos to you, sir. These are really fantastic. So, I'm lucky enough to be a part of a really great community of fans, artists, customizers, photographers, hobbyists, you name it, and just reaching out to people. People are like really cool, really nice. I want to give a special shout out to Greg Shaw, who's joining us in the chat right now. I reached out. I was like, dude, your stuff is immense. Can I please feature it in the show? He's like, yeah, man, just let me know when it is. I'm like, crap, it's in a few minutes. So GL Shaw in the chat. Greg, thank you so much. Been looking forward to showing this to my buddies here in the Terror Drome. So here is Greg Shaw's work. Dude has a fantastic eye as well. As far as like how he takes different figures, recreates things from the cartoon. Right here, just combining different effects, different lighting, and just really getting into the nuances and the detail.
Very cool.
This stuff is great.
That's
man. Thank you. And it's like you see them facing off with each other. You see how he does his framing. Really, really cool stuff here, like with the scenery. I can't tell if that's extreme sets or if that's
Right.
E screen, but it's just really cool, like the columns and stuff and everything. Using motion blur to convey speed, right? Dude, you gotta watch out for those snake spears, man. Just cover your chest.
Cover
Cool.
that chest, buddy.
You know?
Cover that chest. I mean, make sure you have a sharpshooter with a bow and arrow to take that big ass snake out.
Yeah. You guys, Justin, yeah, man, thanks for letting us show off your stuff, man. It was,
yeah, bro. There you go, buddy.
Once again, one of my favorite spots here, man, because you see like just the light shining from this ramp cycle here with this
That's
Tiger Force breaker. Like I was like at the very beginning when Tiger Force was announced, I'm like, nah, I don't think I want to get that out back. I'm gonna wait until I get the classic one. And it's like I just saw what everybody was doing with theirs. So I was like, all right, you guys really make this stuff sing. Dude, I don't know how you got your hands on that Arctic bat. People are getting it early. Travis got his.
Travis got it.
Where are y'all getting this stuff from, man? But,
some bitch.
But look at this. Stalker is holding on for dear life.
Yeah, that's what would happen. Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah,
yep,
like what Trav said. I like what this Wakanda here. Like the stuff is like as much as I'm waiting on a G.I. Joe movie, you guys are kind of already giving me a G.I. Joe movie. It's like,
totally.
This is how great this stuff looks. And just keeps going and going. So it's like reaching back into our childhoods. Like I think now people are really reaching the level of play that we were trying to when we were kids, but we didn't have smartphones, or we didn't have Discord or Messenger. We couldn't trade these ideas, right? And we definitely didn't have figures 6-inch scale, high detail. Like when people were waiting on 6-inch Joe, they were waiting on it so they could do stuff like this. Like that's just great. It's like the flipping, the bullet hits, the squibs, all that stuff.
You feel that action going on, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they got one case of Arctic bats and you cleared them all out, right? Yeah. Some really good stuff going here. Brandon, thank you very much, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Brandon. Thank you.
You guys giving us stuff like this really makes it easy to do. And yeah, don't forget to check us out, Toy Kind of Mood, youtube.com/@atoykindamood. Wednesday, we'll be going into much more deeper detail with the Arctic Bat with our friend Baldy Locks. This is one of my favorites right here. I love this stuff. This is the kind of stuff, like, this gets me, like, I can already hear Storm Shadow be like, we will reach the eternal secret together. Seriously, no, not today. Just some really good stuff, man. Look at
this.
And
it will take our lives.
So Greg will sometimes even do breakdowns into how he approaches his work. So in some of the blast effects that you saw, like he will, just give you blow by blow. So here's like a little plastic base and some rods and some styrofoam, right? And then he adds some paint to them. So now they're rocks. He uses those rods as a foundation, and now they got cotton as well. Man, these guys, I am so jealous about those Arctic bats. But then you see how he adds on paint, to make it look smoke effects, sort of almost make it look like almost like a fluid simulation. So now you have this floating thing, and when it's all said and done, boom.
Shrapnel just going everywhere.
Exactly. Dude puts a light in under that base so it glows through that plastic, through the cotton, and he spells it all out. Some people, they keep their secrets. Greg, he shares with the masses, man. So that's the kind of stuff that we love seeing. It's the dude gets down with dioramas as well. So this is a diorama. Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is scratch made, right? Like,
I know, but they can truly get down with some ACBA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Articulated comic book art. Shout out to those dudes as well. Brian, he's got it right on. It's very, very awesome explosions. This stuff makes me want to get off of my ass and just make some more.
Gun Bunny want to do dioramas too, right?
Yeah, that's I would like to get into that.
Scratch. Oh, go ahead, Gun.
I was gonna say when I was younger, when I was in high school, I used to work at a hobby store, and
Yeah.
so I used to have to help people like make their railroad displays and stuff like that. So I have a small knowledge of doing that stuff, but I want to expand it and do stuff like what those guys are doing to be able to kind of get to that level of photography as well. Because I mean, that's the kind of stuff, like you said, that it pulls the scenes right from your imagination. That went. He probably even saw that scene as a kid while he was playing, and then it translates into him as an adult now being able to create that, have the level of experience, talent in his art to pull that, from his mind and make that. And it's a beautiful thing when you can do that, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's stuff like this just really energizes me. Once again, I got love for spirit. Anytime you have spirit in nature, whether it's a studio shot or outside in the woods, I love that stuff. Yeah, shout out to thanks for that, man. Yeah, please, if you like what you see and you see what you like, please leave a like, ring the bell for notifications. Thank you all very much. We really do appreciate it. We've been having a great time with Yojo June, a Joe kind of June rather, and I just want to finish that off with this. You gotta. It's yeah. I really look forward to Terror Drome. I look forward to the spotlight, the community spotlight, just to shine a light on these cats. If you're in G.I. Joe Classified Elite or in the Joe groups, go ahead, find the homie Greg Shaw and let him know you appreciate his stuff. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's awesome. Check out Baldy Locks' review. You can see some of Greg's artwork on display as well. DJ,
Oh, nice. Okay.
that, man. Yeah, man. I don't know about you, man. I feel like I've had about 2 months worth of Joe celebration. It's like I'm like, man, it's like it's only been 10 days. You sure hasn't been the full 30? Yeah, man. So that does it for another episode of Welcome to the Terror Drome. Gun Bunny. Once again, we've been anticipating this for a very long time. Man, you did not disappoint. My apologies earlier for technical difficulties. We have a rep to uphold. So
Thank y'all for having me on. Before we go, I do have some things that I've been kind of squirreling away that I haven't been able to do videos on of different vehicles from different lines that I've found that could that people could do other things. Work with the classified line if y'all got time to see a few of them.
Definitely,
man. That's what we're here for, buddy. Let me go ahead and do this solo layout. Folks, don't touch that dial, man.
Look them up. Here it comes, baby.
Some Terror Drome exclusives up in here, man. All right, man.
With all of the Arctic stuff that seems to be coming out. Once I saw that Snow Job was going to get released, I realized that they're going to start kind of pushing towards the Arctic stuff, and we're going to need some kind of vehicles to go along with that. So I found these snowmobiles from New Ray, and they're 112 snowmobiles, and they scale out perfectly. Two of them, and this is what they look like in the box, and they're like $18 or $19 on Amazon.
I got one of those. I got one of those. I can't wait. Yeah.
You got one?
Yeah.
Dude, they scale really well with that.
They do, and with New Ray, I made my very first vehicle off a New Ray quad. Right, it was the Ferret, but they have almost working kind of style suspensions and stuff like that. So I mean, they display well. You know what I mean, and they look the part, and they work well with the classified scale.
Exactly, and people can go crazy with painting that, and then when Snow Job comes out and any other Arctic, figure comes out, oh man, it's over.
I'm telling cats right now, Woodland Scenics, get that snow, get some foam sheets, and then sprinkle some snow on top.
Woo!
And get those photos.
The MMS, buddy. Look at that MMS from Gun Bunny.
Is that from the homie Pixie's Designs, King Grimlock?
No, I got this off of eBay. It's pretty good print. I cannot remember the guy's name on eBay. I felt it, but it wasn't. It was like a profile name with numbers. But it's a great print, and I had to get it because we're going to be getting the hiss soon. And same thing, I'll be painting like the heat sink and all that kind of stuff like that on there to go along with it to make it look like the original. So this was another thing that I picked up. But there's and a lot of people have gotten these before, but I was able to finally find one that was cheap, and I actually got it in a lot and it came with everything, but it was one of these jackals.
Yeah, baby, told you. I told you it was coming. I told you it was coming. That shit is crazy.
Where'd you get that?
So I got this. This is from that HM Armed Forces.
Yeah.
Jackal vehicle. So it came with like a 50 cal in the ring mount, and it's got like a 240 here.
Yeah.
It's a right hand drive and all that stuff. Now it's scaled for 12-inch figures, but of course
it works.
It works. So I'm gonna be turning this into like Alley Viper, Urban Assault.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes, right, baby.
So I'll be retrofitting everything for it to go with classified scale. So this is going to be something that's going to go along with. So I have the tank as well, and I've started working on it. And
yeah, once you sent me the pictures with the Alley Vipers in it, I knew that shit worked really, really good.
Yeah.
So this one I've kind of been in the process with, and it's going to be a Crimson Guard. It's going to be a Crimson Guard tank. Paying down. I took it apart. I was able to take it apart.
Whoa!
And then start working on the different camouflage patterns and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but this is going to be a Crimson Guard.
What tank is that? Where's that from?
So it's from the same thing that HM Armed Forces.
Oh, HM Armed Forces. Okay.
So you already added the paint to it, or was it like that?
Yeah, it was like a desert sand color.
Okay.
And
all right. So you're already okay. So you just been at work in the lab. Yeah.
So I've been just trying to find different stuff, different things that'll work. Here's another thing that I picked up recently, and it's from Action Force, and I'm sure other people have seen this one too. But it's
this
like
a Palatoy Action Man. Oh no, this is Hasbro Action Man.
So yeah, this is from the UK Action Man. It's for the 12-inch figure, but it's the same thing. I'll get it to kind of scale down and retrofit the inside.
Yeah.
To be able to fit the 6 scale. So this is going to be sort of like a beefed up kind of vamp when I get done with it.
Nice. Oh hell yeah!
And so I was able to find this pretty cheap, not that long ago. So then I have one more, and I haven't shown anybody this at all, right? I haven't shown anybody this at all, right? So I'm gonna open it right here in front of everybody.
Oh shit!
Okay, man. Tony, you ready for this, man?
I'm ready. I've been ready. I'm born ready. Come on.
I found this on Amazon. I don't know, maybe about a year ago or so. I have another one that I opened up, and I started taking it apart. But it was the same thing. It had that sonic weld, static weld, or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
So this is like a crew serve cannon from that Click and Play, and it's like a World War II field gun.
Yeah.
But it actually ends up working out really well. Hold on, let me grab that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nice.
So here's a component of the open part. But so I mean, once it's set up, this is actually the correct height for the classified figure to stand right here and look through. So nice. I got a couple of these, and when I make my exterior for whatever Cobra display I ended up doing, like on like Cobra Island for the Terror Drome or whatever.
Yeah,
these are like the coastal defense guns. So I'm gonna create like a Cobra gun crew for each one of these. So it'll have like a loader, it'll have a gunner, and it'll have, you know what I'm saying, somebody sighting in. And it actually comes with a little chair for them to sit on, so they can control and they can look straight out through there. And these were like $18 on Amazon.
Yeah,
crazy. And so these are all all things like this can work well, like with this, and just be perimeter defense for either your Joe base or your Cobra base.
So you're just using all these great finds to really build out your Joe world. It's gonna be immaculate, dude. It's gonna be
world building right there.
Yeah, and I think that's a part that we're missing. As customizers, like I said initially, we were missing characters, so we're all scrambling to make characters, and so now we're kind of scrambling to make the Joe universe. So I have one more, and this one's actually pretty cheap. It was like $6, and it's a little Tonka tank, right? But what I wanted to make was the bomb disposal unit from the I was at 84 or 85, and it was
yeah.
Okay. It had the armor here, so I'll make the armor, and it's actually wide enough for them to fit. You just have to open up the bottom. I'm going to remove this, and then I'll paint it, and I'll create the armor on top. But trying to create like service and support vehicles for all the dioramas and stuff like that. And you can find it for this was like $6 at Target on sale. I mean, it's real metal. It's a real Tonka truck. And all you have to do is open this up for them to fit. And then you can just paint it and, make it whatever it is that you want to, expand your, like I said, expand your universe.
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy.
Buddy, I think you just gave us an all-time classic Terror Drome episode, buddy.
That's what I'm talking about. I can't wait till when he gets his workshop done.
Woo!
Yeah, man. So I'm hoping all of that's gonna come about pretty soon. I'm hoping within the next maybe 1 month to a month, because there's actually like a lot of other stuff that I've been working on that I want to do as far as artwork for G.I. Joe and using the other mediums that I do like in my regular life. But also what I've been doing, since I was down for so long, I've actually been writing out a complete G.I. Joe universe, like kind of like script and storyline for all this stuff, where I took all like the original storyline of it, but did it in a completely modern way, but it was still set in 1982. And
Wow.
and I think, and this is just my opinion, I think G.I. Joe is one of those properties. It's not like Star Wars where you can just sort of imagine anything and make a component to it. G.I. Joe and those characters and everything that went along with it kind of went along with what was going on in like 1982. They were kind of indicative of what was going on in the world in 1982. So sometimes to me, it seems like when you try to update 1982, that you start seeing things like, like initially when Classified came out with all the, the metallic armor and stuff like that, it was like kind of an odd update. So people were initially kind of hesitant with it. And so with the universe that I'm creating in the stories, it still takes all of the original Inception stuff, but it just adds a layer of 2023 sophistication as far as the plot, the storyline, and the way it's not real bubblegummy the way it was, back then, where everything was dry and finished in 30 minutes, and you learned your lesson, and you ate your pork chop sandwich and all that kind of stuff. This is going to be what I want to do, is because I think they keep just missing the mark with the media part of it. They need to take G.I. Joe, keep it back in 1982, and do like the way that they would do like a Batman universe. It needs to be dark. There has to be danger. There has to be, there has to be peril. You know what I mean?
Right.
Cobra Commander can't just keep crying and running. So, and then the backstories that I have, I mean, to even the way that Cobra Commander comes into power and why he talks the way he does. And I mean, the backstory. So in this universe, the backstories go all the way back to like World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and then it goes all the way into the future, into modern times, and the Joes that go along with it. So you have the continuous story, you have all the backstories, and then you can have all of the side stories, and they all interlock and they all interconnect to create a giant universe that isn't hokey. It isn't a hokey version of G.I. Joe. It's a real world version where people die, people are, civilians die. There's collateral damage. There's a level of realism that, that I think that kids today, especially if they want to pass this on to the next generation, kids today are way more sophisticated than we were in 1983.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you don't update the mental aspect of the property to draw these kids in, you know what I mean, with subject matter and storylines that are contemporary, but put, set in the place of G.I. Joe, which is 1982. In my mind, is 1982. It has to start from that inception point. There has to be a way to mix those. And in the storyline and in the canon that I'm creating, it keeps all of the original true stories of all the background characters and how they become, but it's looked at through like 2023 intelligence, the way that we see things now for all of those issues. And so I want to be able to take those storylines, those scripts, the customs, the vehicles, the dioramas, the photography, and put that all together in one big thing and create one big storyline, and have all of the artwork go with it, have the customs go with it, all of it, and do some kind of visual, process with it, whether it's still, photos, a collection of still photos to tell the story, or whether I evolve into some kind of stop motion animation or something like that.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, man, that'd be incredible. I remember when you were telling me for the first time, I was like, whoa, and it all interlocks and it comes to the modern. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I think because if we don't update G.I. Joe, who younger than us that is really collecting it or really knows or is real knowledgeable about it? You know, if they do collect it, it's because it was a hot and profitable line. You know what I mean? Because of how difficult it was to get them.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but if we don't get a media property, whether it's a graphic novel, a comic book line,
a video game,
something, but
cartoon.
it can't just be a cheesy revamp update of the 82 campiness of it. You know what I mean? Of the cartoon,
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? The kids today are way too sophisticated to be entertained by that, and so we had to try to figure out a way of balancing the morality and the originality and the origin of G.I. Joe with today's topics, so where kids can be engaged with it and want to collect. Because I want my son to collect. When I got into doing this a couple of years ago, or when all this stuff came out, it was with the hope and intention of my brother would collect too with his sons and my son, and it would be kind of like a family thing, you know what I mean, that we would carry on with our sons. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be grasping on to the next generation, and it's because they don't have the media matrix of it the way that we did, you know what I mean, where you could go to Circle K, get the comic while you're getting a Slurpee to get home to watch the cartoon and play with the toys, you know what I mean. They're not inundated with it like we were. So I want to try to find a way to create that, and then hopefully put it out there and have it pick up.
Yeah, man, it's gonna go as dark as Resolute, at least like in that Resolute vein. The Resolute was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was such a lovely tribute and an update at the same time, and it did not pull its punches, man.
Yeah,
man. So I think there could be great things for G.I. Joe, you know what I mean. And we have in our generation, and you know what I mean, if you look at it, we have such collective buying power, and with what we got, because we can now have the collections that we wanted as children. We can army build as kids, you know what I mean. Now we could, we have the power. If you want 200 number 24s to make your collection, then, you know what I'm saying, then you as an adult, you could do that. Who's holding you back? Your mom can't tell you no, now your dad can't tell you no. And so but once we hit a certain threshold and our buying power starts to diminish as we fall off, who is going to save, who's going to carry G.I. Joe to the next generation? How is it going to flip? And so I want to be able to try to at least somewhat try to create something to where it might be able to, have it to where my son can, be the next generation of collector and customizer.
Dude, how old is he now, Josh?
He's 6.
Oh wow, he's a young guy. Yeah,
he's 6, and I took him to go see the movie when they reshowed the 87 movie, and we'll watch it on Tubi or YouTube and stuff like that, and he'll ask, and he likes it, and he knows, when we go, looking for toys and stuff like that Daddy collects G.I. Joe and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully, we can figure out a way, even as customizers and not actual Hasbro employees or whatever, to do our part in pushing the brand down the road to the next generation.
Yeah. Epic. Hell yeah.
I mean,
what a segment that was.
Yeah, it's all right there, man. We see how material costs keep vehicles off of the shelves, how losing the this guy.
Here,
Solo. Yeah. We got love for Gridiron. We gotta get that grid con going right there.
I actually got my Gridiron shipment today. So
did you? What'd you cop? What'd you get?
Oh, so when I saw this come out, so like I said, I always have like plans in my head, and so the Snake Supreme Cobra Commander was always my favorite release of Cobra Commander in the summer. Yeah. So he did that black and gold
MD-14. The Mini 14.
And he goes perfect with the Snake Supreme Cobra Commander. So
nice. That's why he did that. Yeah, that's why he did that. Shout out to Mark. He's feeling kind of bad right now. He's got that rheumatoid arthritis, and man, he's a little sick right now under the weather. I was gonna go to this Mesa Mega show, and he had a table there and everything, but he canceled because he wasn't feeling well. So shout out to Mark Van Cannon. Hey man, get better, brother.
Yeah, man. Hope you feel better. And then I had to get this.
Woo!
I had to get the howitzers. Okay. So I was artillery when I was in the Marines, and I actually trained on these. We actually had to train on these for. They weren't in use anymore as far as like combat, but they were for ceremonial use. And so all the firing batteries, you're on a rotation of training on these in case any ex-president or somebody like that dies. You have to go to the salute. So we had to go through the funeral ceremony training for these. So I actually trained on one of these.
Wow.
While I was in, so how to to load the breech and and all that kind of stuff. So when these came out, I really wanted one, and I didn't have the money at the time. And so once I got some money coming in, he still had one, or still had some for sale. So I definitely had to pick it up. So shout out to Gridiron for that. And I've opened it up and I've looked at it. I haven't had a chance to put like the breech and all that together, but it looks awesome and it looks very, very accurate as well.
Yeah, man, that looks like it's going to be amazing. That's Travis has the howitzer, and he got like
has it. Yeah. How loud was that thing, Gun Bunny? How loud was that thing when you're firing that sucker?
Yeah,
those aren't very loud because all they have. So at the time, because it was such an old older artillery piece, it wasn't in use anymore. So we didn't have any live rounds. All they had were like blanks, just to kind of show for the ceremony, which weren't very loud. But like for what we shot for real, like what we shot in Iraq and stuff like that, it was an M19 or 8, which is 155 millimeter round.
Damn.
Yeah.
When we were shelling Baghdad, I mean, we used Charge 8 stick propellants, which is the highest propellant that we have, and that's fucking loud. I mean, it shakes the whole body. I mean, I have a picture of when we're firing one because I was a gunner, so I was a gunner on the section. When it fires, you could actually see the shock wave in the ground, where like it would look like multiple grounds.
Oh, the ripple.
Yeah. I mean, your body would be concussed. You know what I'm saying? Because
I can imagine
that. The explosion train from the primer to the bag to everything all the way up. I mean, it's very, very jarring. When you shoot high propellant, like that.
They're just shelling all them down.
You guys were trying to take down Terror Dromes for real out there.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was
hey, Taliban, bend over.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I wasn't no John Rambo or no Carlos, White Feather Hathcock or anything like that.
Hathcock,
I was just a regular gunner on our artillery section, but we shot a lot of fire missions. I don't know if they actually really showed that while we were over there how much artillery we actually
they did a little bit. They did a little bit. I remember watching some. I was like, whoa.
I mean, we did a lot of damage. Artillery did a lot of damage. That's why they call it the king of battle. You know what I mean? Supposedly 98% of ground casualties come from artillery.
Yep. Can't get out the way fast enough.
No, man. I mean, once they start coming, you know what I mean? I mean, and when you train, you use a real small amount of rounds, like in your fire missions, you know what I mean? But when you're over there, I mean, you'll shoot nonstop for minutes, hours, you know what I mean?
Shelling people.
Yeah. It was in that regard, it was definitely pretty insane to shoot the amount of rounds that we did out of those howitzers. And the howitzers that we took that was on our section was on its last tube, right? Because they get 8 or 9 tube lives per howitzer. And I mean, it served in Vietnam. The 9 or 8s that we took over there were originally from Vietnam era. So that's what we use, and it was on its last. You'll see when you open up the breech, where you put the all the round and stuff like that. It's got a number for the barrel life of it. And the last one, I mean, that's how the Marines are rocking. You know what I mean? Low budget, the last of the Vietnam era's kind of armaments.
I'm amazed that it still works, but at the same time, it's like, man, you guys.
Well, I mean, look at the 50 cal. The 50 cal has been in use. The M1's been in use for, however. I mean, because once you have a perfect design, you got a perfect design. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't really beat. Can't really beat that.
And thank you so much for your service, you big jarhead.
Yeah, man.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Well, at least try to send some people your way. Like check out dude's YouTube channel, Gun Bunny Customs 4302. Don't forget to also check out his Instagram, gun_bunny_customs on the gram.
On his way to bringing out more stuff on that YouTube channel. Yeah.
And I actually have more stuff to talk about, but talk about that stuff that didn't. I'm waiting for it to get shipped.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because there's other things that I'm gonna. There's a guy who prints different size original O-ring figures all the way up from like, you can make, if you want a 6-inch O-ring figure, or 12-inch, all the way up to a life-size 6-foot O-ring figure.
oh, that's right. Your big 12-inch O-rings.
And so I was hoping to have those in hand so I could kind of show, because that's another thing that I wanted to kind of get into. So they're almost like the General Giant 12-inch, but he can do any one. And his name's Viper 6. Very, very nice guy. But he's got some stuff coming on a vehicle that he's printing for me now. That vehicle is about 2 feet long, maybe a little bit more. And I haven't seen anybody else. I don't know if he's done it for anybody else. I haven't seen anybody else. But this vehicle, I'm hoping, is going to be like my comeback vehicle, my breakthrough vehicle.
Okay.
It's going to be something that I haven't done before. It's a printed vehicle that I'm going to have to put together and do. But I'm going to do electronics, because there's going to be lights in there and stuff like that. And then I'm also going to do a series of putting together those 12-inch printed figures that I'm getting from that gentleman. His name's Viper 6. If you can look him on Instagram, Viper 6. He's a very nice guy. And I was hoping to have those in hand today so I could show the quality and stuff like that.
Well, we'd love to have you back next time. I just want to make sure that I have this right. So that's 6 like spelled out with the IX, right?
Yeah, Lawrence, Punk with Toys. It's not Viper Island, fool. It's Viper 6.
No.
No. I think this is it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this? So I'm posting something in the chat. Is this it? Viper 6?
Let me see.
I'm gonna share screen. Hopefully this thing doesn't implode on me. It has not been behaving lately. So
I'll look it up on my Instagram too.
Is that
yes. That's him right there. So
okay,
he does, man. So it's
life-size O-ring. Okay.
I'm freaking 12-inch, at least 12-inch O-ring. Good God! Oh, I see what I'm seeing right now. But Gun Bunny, I'm gonna keep it under wraps until you want to tell people.
Yeah.
Well, no, go back up. I'll show you. Go to the top of that dude's page.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
But that was the guy, man, and he's a very nice guy.
Viper 6, right.
Viper 6,
all right, so let me go ahead and share that one last time real quick. All right, so this is Viper 6's Instagram.
Right. So you see the second row where you see the life-size bat. Now you see the vehicle on the right.
Woo!
The broadcast energy transmitter.
Right. BET, baby. Are you bullshit?
This dude gets a follow. This dude gets a follow. See, I used to crack so many Donnie Simpson Video Soul BET jokes. Man, we gotta start the BET. How come they don't like Video Soul?
Yeah,
Video Soul. Yeah.
So that's gonna be the vehicle that's gonna, once that comes in, that's gonna be probably like the first vehicle I do where it's gonna show exactly the way I receive it, the way I clean it up, the way I prep it, prime it, fill it, paint it, and then run the wiring and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm gonna do video series also on the first two 12-inch figures I got from him was Cobra Commander and Destro.
Wow.
But I'm not gonna do any type of traditional paint schemes on there, and I'm actually going to send like his head off to get like professionally chromed and all that stuff. I'm not just going to paint it. I'm going to try to do something that's next level with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is once again Terror Drome. It just sucks you in. I gotta be careful whenever I'm like just rolling with Tony. I would have probably been able to afford a car if I'd never met this.
Oh yeah. Once you get into this,
keep enabling this motherfucker.
Yeah, I never realized. And actually, when I started doing custom, I wanted to have one in the box, one on the shelf, and just do small little things to make them look the way I wanted to. I mean, and it's turned into where I don't think, like my friends, family, coworkers, they never really saw how obsessed I got with this because I was stuck here by myself. So nobody ever actually came into this room, you know what I'm saying, and seen what's all in here. I've sent Tony some photos of things that I've amassed, over the collection stuff that I've amassed. I had no idea that it was gonna get like this, but to the point now where I'm so far in. What the hell else can I do? You know what I mean? I don't want to jump to another line. I can't stop now because I have so much money invested in the equipment and in my collection and stuff like that. So the only other choice is to keep rolling till the motherfucking wheels fall off, till the line shuts down, till there's nothing left. And then even after that, at some point they're gonna, even if classified shuts down, they're gonna start another line eventually. You know what I'm saying? Or hopefully. So as far as I can tell, for the however long I still got to be, kicking around on this earth,
all right,
I'm gonna end up doing some sort of GI Joe art, GI Joe custom, GI Joe photography, from here on out.
that's the realest thing I ever heard, bro.
Oh man,
Once
the turntables might wobble, but they don't fall down.
Yeah, man.
Show my dude some love. Josh, is it?
Yeah. So my original my real name is Josh, but so originally my Instagram was called Josh's GI Joe shit, and that's how I started off. But what happened is people started contacting me, and they were like, "Hey Josh, hey buddy, hey Josh," and I didn't personally know him, and I've never been a big social media guy or anything like that. So it was very odd to have people come at me like that, and because usually I'm from the military, so I'll go by my last name anyways.
Right.
And so it was kind of. And so I was like, you know what, I gotta change it. And I was like, well, I just need to make a customs name because everybody's something customs, right? And so I was like, well, what do I want to do? And I was like, man, you're just a dumb gun bunny in the Marines, right? Because that's what they called artillery guys. You're a gun rocker,
Gun bunny,
right? So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just be gun bunny for now, and then if I find something cooler later, I'll keep going. But then it ended up, to where I kept with it, and then did the channel and all that kind of stuff. So it's just gonna be gun bunny from here on out.
All right, man.
right on, brother. Hell yeah.
Well, once again, thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for spending some time with us out of your day.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me. If y'all ever want me back as a guest, I'm at your disposal.
Dude, at this point, man, we might ask you to join the damn team.
Oh shit! I mean, trust me,
it's fucking awesome, bro. Hey, let's do a collab, bro. We're talking about it.
Yeah,
do a collab with something.
To be quite honest, because like I said, because of what I'm dealing with, the after effects of that motorcycle accident, I can no longer physically work. So I'm going to be, this is going to be something that I'm going to be spending more time and energy on. So I mean, I would be more than glad, to come back however much y'all want me to.
Yeah, man.
Awesome, dude.
This is what Joe Kind of June is all about. Thank you, Tony. Real quick before we go, anything you want to say to this dude or to the chat?
Man, this is one of the nicest bros you'll ever know. He's very generous. He's very cool. He'll talk to you about anything. He's got a lot of time for you. He'll always listen. I mean, he did me a solid, and he had ordered a couple extra figures. I don't know if I told you, KJ, but he got an extra copperhead and extra scrap iron, and he knew I ordered them. This is another funny story. Gun Bunny, shut up. This shit's funny. I think I told KJ. I'm not sure, but. He said, "Hey, bro, just so you can have them earlier, I got an extra copperhead and scrap iron. I can send you them so you can have them early. And then when you get yours in, you just send them to me." I said, "You do that? Fuck yeah!" I'm like, "Fuck yeah! Come on, send them to me." And then he goes, "Okay, what's your address?" So I go to whatever, I think it was Amazon, and what's your orders and all that shit. Pop my my address up right on top of the order that you see me order copperhead and everything, and I send it to Gun Bunny, and fucking Josh is like laughing his ass off. I'm like, what'd I do? He goes, "That's the most Mexican thing anybody's ever done. Why you showed me your address while simultaneously showing me collateral."
Yeah. He sent me the screenshot that showed the address, the map of his house, what he ordered, all at once. I said, "Man, I was like, I trust you, player, man. I know you're not gonna, I just never seen anything like that all in one fell swoop like that."
I said, "You know what? I'm lazy. I'm not gonna type it out. I'm like, just send him this. This homie's gonna send me 2 prime, awesome figs that." He's got them from overseas or wherever he got them from. They ain't out over here yet. And he sends them to me. I'm like, "Dude, here. Oh, let me see. What I know I ordered this from either BBTS or Amazon. Just send him that. Look, thank you so much. I do have them coming."
Yeah.
I promise I do.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty
That
funny.
was freaking hilarious. Fucking dude, Gun Bunny clowned the shit out of me, dude. It was so funny.
And they're
Oh my god. It
figures.
felt-
Those are
it
definitely
was-
the two best out of that wave. I think.
Yeah.
Cobra for sure.
I can't wait to get my hands on that. Shout out to everyone who's got Arctic Back, who's got Copperhead and Rock and Roll and Shipwreck. Shout out to Instant Leanne, who we gave us community spotlight to last weekend. That was a lot of fun. And everyone, all our friends at Joe Fest, I wanted to say, have fun. Thank you for not, be boiling mad at us for doing this during Joe Fest right now. But have a good time. Be safe out there, and just keep the good vibes coming, man. This has been a blast. We could probably do this for another 2 hours.
Right.
Not even kidding. We've probably done it before. Dude, Gun Bunny, pleasure to meet you. Thanks for joining us once again. Keep up the excellent work. Tony, it's always good rolling with you, dude. Especially you're helping me get through this month. Let's put it that way.
I hear you. It's been a little crazy. It's been a little hectic.
It's a crazy. Yojo June is always crazy, but here it is. Right. Joe kind of June. Show some love out there, and nothing left to say but yo Joe.
Yo Joe. Hey man,
having me, man.
Awesome time. Great show, guys. Thanks everybody in the chat.
Hey, show love out there, and don't forget to play with your figs. Peace.
Peace out.